Okay, I would say we will start right now. So, hello everyone, and a warm welcome to our virtual visits today. My name is Inga from the Frankfurt Convention Bureau, and I am happy to be your host. So, this is kind of a special event here, as we have two hotels and one location presenting their innovative health and hygiene measures here today. So let me introduce our guests. You can turn on your cameras if you like.
Hello.
Hello.
Perfect. So hello everyone. So let me introduce our guests here for today. So André Speth, he is the Director of Revenue Strategy at the Frankfurt Marriott Hotel. Hello André.
Hello, Inga, and hello, everybody.
Then we have Heiko Kein here. He's the general manager of the Scandic Frankfurt Museumsufer. Hello.
Hello, Inga, and hello, everybody, and thank you for listening.
And last but not least, I am happy to introduce to you Teresa Spiridou. She is the desk manager of the design offices in Frankfurt. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Inga.
Hi, it's so nice to have you here today. And I would say we start directly. So we will start with some short updates here from our beautiful city, Frankfurt, and then move on to our virtual visits, focusing on the question, what can our hotels and location offer in order to guarantee you a safe meeting? So maybe some of you have seen these pictures here before, like maybe on LinkedIn. This was our first hybrid network event that we had around a month ago with around 100 participants. And I have to tell you, it was so great to finally meet again. So, in order to meet safely again, there are a few regulations here in Frankfurt that I would like to present to you. In Frankfurt, meetings and events with up to 250 people are possible without a permission. But if you're organizing a meeting or event with more than 250 people, you need the special permission. Also, a minimum distance of 1.5 meter, which is around 5 feet, must be maintained between persons. What is also important is that you have a list of participants, including the name, the address, the telephone number of your attendees. These lists will be deleted after 4 weeks. Also, what is important is that you have control of access and exit, and that you have measures to avoid queues. We here in Frankfurt have a guideline for event planners, which is that one person needs like 3 square meters, which is around 30 square feet, of the accessible space floor at their determined. So yeah, if you plan an event and you have question, you can contact us anytime. So these are like the basic information, and I will send you more detailed information in a follow-up. Yeah, now I think it would be very interesting to see concrete examples how these measures can be implemented in our hotels and locations. So let's start with Andre. So Andre, you're working for the Frankfurt Marriott Hotel. Please give us some key information about your hotel, and then we're excited to see our first virtual visit.
All right, thank you very much, Inga. So yeah, hello and welcome to the Frankfurt Marriott Hotel. We are the tallest hotel building in Germany, and we also have one of the biggest ballrooms with natural daylight in Frankfurt. Just a few key facts: we have about 593 rooms. We're a skyscraper hotel with a nice view of the Frankfurt skyline. Usually, before March, we would host 2 major events a week in our ballroom with somewhere between 400 and 500 participants. and that on a weekly basis. Now, of course, we have the advantage that we do have that space, and down here in the presentation, you can see a few sample shots. We came up with a new food and beverage concept, which you can see on the lower left-hand side, where we, serve breakfast in pre-boxed, so-called bento boxes, so that everybody has its own individual meal. And since buffets are not allowed anymore, and you have everything in your own little private space, meeting setup currently would look like that in the middle picture, where all the ingredients you need for your successful meetings will be at your desk, so that you're avoiding, walking around, and you have your own personal space maintained at your desk. And we're trying to avoid, walking around too much if it's not necessary. On the right-hand side, you see, and for this presentation today, we went with the lower amount of people. Yes, like Inga mentioned, we can currently host up to 240 people in our ballroom due to the, and according to the regulations, that would be possible. We set up the ballroom currently with a 1.50 meter distance between each delegate, which would bring us to about 150 participants. And that's the key currently. And Inga, next slide, please. So our main advantage, as I said, is the space that we have to offer. And we would basically now go ahead and upgrade you basically to a bigger room. So if you would request 150 people meeting right now in our hotel, you would get one of the mid-size breakout rooms that we have that would, before COVID-19, host easily those 150 participants. Now you will be basically upgraded to the big ballroom in order to be able to host these 150 people in the appropriate social distance. And on the left-hand side, you would see like how this would look like with individual tables, with space in between, with a big stage at the front of the room. We thought, or the concept we came up with, it's probably it's going to be some kind of presentation or some kind of panel in the future. And so we built a stage into the ballroom, and we will see in the video later. We're also aiming on hybrid meeting, which means that if you want to host a meeting with 400 to 500 people, you can have up to 150 or up to 240 actually in the ballroom participating, and then we can videotape and stream the remaining participants around the world, and we could do a hybrid on-premise and online meeting. Down there you see another setup that we have. This would be a coffee break served at the participant or the participant's desk. Again, where there's no need to get up, walk around if not necessary. And a small picture of our hygiene kit, which we'll see in the video later. Next slide, please, Inga. Inga mentioned all the different regulations, and what she presented is really just a very small part of it. We have everything prepared for you. We are the subject matter experts on these things, and you don't have to worry about it. We created fact sheets for organizers and agencies with all the key facts that you need to know, and we're updating them regularly as the new regulations come in. We have a fact sheet for groups, group check-in, all the different ins and outs that you need to know during your visit, all the hygiene concepts and everything. And we also have information for meeting attendants, how they should behave during a meeting, what are the current regulations, what are the do's and don'ts during a meeting. So, you can set your mind at rest, and we will take care of that and make sure it's a successful meeting. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Andre. So we have already a question regarding this guideline that I mentioned before with the 3 square meters. And this is just like a guideline that we have. So if you have a meeting with around like 200 participants, you can calculate that you would need at least like 600 square meters. So this is just like a guideline to help you planning your event. And also we have a question about food and beverage precautions. Maybe we can answer that after our first virtual visit if this question is still left. So I would say we would start now with the first virtual visit. Just one technical information for you. If you cannot see the video, for example, maybe your screen, you have a black screen, then you can just leave the webinar and attend again. So click on the link again and then it will probably work. So let's start.
Good morning and welcome to the Frankfurt Marriott Hotel. My name is Andre Speth and I will show you around a little bit regarding our new hygiene concept for hotel guests and meeting participants. Come inside and find out. Throughout the hotel you will find hand sanitation stations and you will find signs either up on here or down on the floor showing the appropriate social distance of 1.50 meters. All our employees will wear masks and you will be protected through a glass wall up on your check-in. We have 2 staircases leading up to the first floor, which we now separated, so we can separate the stream of people coming in. We have 1 staircase leading up to the first floor, while the second one is leading down to the lobby. Upon arrival on the first floor, we have another hand sanitation station, and now we're in the ballroom foyer, where we basically have still enough space to socialize in small groups by still keeping the mandated social distance. One of the biggest advantages that we have is the size of the hotel, and being one of the biggest ballrooms in Frankfurt, we have several entrances to the ballroom. One we use as a dedicated entrance in order to also stream the stream of people, and we use the second entrance as a dedicated exit to the ballroom in order, again, to keep the social distance. So come with me, follow me, and I will show you one of the biggest ballrooms in Frankfurt. One of the concepts that we developed together with the West in Munich is a hybrid meeting. So basically you can invite up to 120 people to participate live in the ballroom, and then we will be able to film the presentation with 3 different camera positions, almost professional film making, so it's a little bit more live and active and not static as just like a Teams meeting. And we will be able to stream that to the remaining participants around the world almost live directly from the ballroom. We equipped the ballroom with a stage, so you can basically be up here, hold a speech, or you can have a podium discussion, or we can clear out the space, we can put a round table here, we can put a lounge setting here, so you can have a discussion, you can present up on the screens and present your product. Each participant will receive his own disinfection kit, which will be placed at the table upon the guest's arrival. The kit contains a hand sanitizing gel, disinfection wipes, his own disinfected ball pen, and a note card. So basically the guest does not have to leave his space and is able to maintain his own private space. All right, I hope you enjoyed the little tour through our hotel, describing our new hygiene concept for hotel guests and meeting participants, and with a view of the Frankfurt skyline out of one of our skyline rooms. I would like to say thank you very much for your participation, and hopefully see you next time here in Frankfurt.
All right. So we have a few questions already here regarding food and beverage. So first of all, we have a question like, what is it about food and beverage precaution? So are there any initiatives to go with a buffet set up? And also there's a question, how is lunch being managed for 150 persons? Maybe you can answer that, Andre.
Yes, of course. So the key concept is to again, limit the movement of the guests and be able to serve everything at the table. So the way we went with that is, as I said, pre-packed bento boxes. So basically, everybody receives his own box that he can take with him. Either have it directly at the table, or leave the room if he wants to, and be outside in the foyer area and take his own lunch with him, or a coffee break. Basically, we won't see any, big buffets, for the foreseeable time or future. And obviously, as regulations coming in, we're able to adjust to that and also adjust the offer going forward. But basically, we will very much focus on serving inside the room or in a dedicated area, and basically have still a variety of things you can choose from. So it's not a set 3-course meal that will be served on a plate, but more likely this own little private selection of things. And then of course with pre-ordered food, where you say, okay, how many vegetarians do you have, how many certain different things you'd have, and then serve that as a seated lunch, for example, in our restaurant.
All right, so thank you for answering the questions and for this very great tour through the Frankfurt Marriott Hotel. So we have one question also, that there's like maybe a rumor in Germany that this rule of 1.5 meter distance might be released if everyone in the room wear face masks. Yeah, so I will just say for everyone that so if there will be new updates, we will inform you immediately. And if you go on our website, like meetfrankfurt.com, you will find all these new updates about new regulations all the time. So thank you, Andre. And we will move on with Heiko from the Scandic Frankfurt Museumsufer. Hello. So tell us something about your hotel. And yeah, then we are very excited to see the Scandic from the inside with our virtual tour.
Absolutely. Yeah, first of all, thank you, Andre, also for introducing Frankfurt. Luckily, I had yesterday a nice view from one of our 92 superior rooms going to the skyline of Frankfurt, where Andre's hotel is part of. And really, as just as little insider tip directly in advance, there's something what we call in Frankfurt skylight tour, which you can do on the River Main. And the River Main is very close to our hotel. And there you can see really the brilliant lightning in the sundown of Frankfurt. And there you see the illuminated bridges, the skyline of Frankfurt in the illumination. It's a very, very brilliant tour. So all the time we talk about our hotels and the skyline, but there's much more in Frankfurt to do for. And this is, as it's my native city, I'm really into it in that part. But now let's go into the Scandinavian touch, and for sure also within the Scandic. The lucky part to us, because today we are talking about safe meetings, is that the hospitality industry and as well the hotels already had a hygiene concept on place before COVID-19, which was called HACCP, which you maybe also know, maybe mostly for the regulations within the kitchen areas. But there we had already one, so we just needed to adapt a couple of things towards the new regulations, what we got from the government. So we were already on spot, on place, and had a couple of things what we had in mind. Lucky part for me is that for the Scandic hotels in Germany, I was responsible to get all the plan for our hotels on site. That means we need to train our team members and train team members. That's the lucky part, is once we have trained team members, then we can host easily our guests and get them through the COVID-19 regulations. Because in the end, everything is about guidance. And the more our people know, the better they can guide our guests running through everything. Also, for sure, we have a clear pandemic plan in each of our hotels, meaning once there's something happening, we are prepared and not shocked. Well, something could happen in any case, but luckily we prevent everything that nothing will happen at all. So let's move on to the next slide. The lucky part is really 92 of our rooms go to the terrific side, to the skyline of Frankfurt, which we are very proud of. But also the rest, like you see here on the picture, is a view to the River Main, where you can see also some parts of the Eiserne Steg, which is a very famous bridge in Frankfurt, and it's within walking distance. Lucky case, because right in the moment we are talking most of that what can happen on site in the hotels, but your events also partly will maybe take place outside. And for us, the lucky case is that we have 2 terraces outside, where we also can host up to closely 50 people, which is right in the moment also the maximum size of our ballroom. For sure, we have 350 square meters, but out of the already mentioned regulations, we needed it to fit it up to 50 people in classroom style, and it's closely the same when it comes up to theater style. So let's move on to the next slide. Because when it comes up to safe meetings, in the moment we only talk about COVID-19, but accessibility is also something. Maybe you have some guests, and this is part of the Scandic DNA, that we also offer areas which have everything accessible, meaning the rooms are prepared, or meeting rooms are prepared, that everybody can fit easily into it. Also, when it comes up to security, we have a full crisis team throughout of all our 280 Scandic hotels, which we are one part of it. And luckily, you see the dog down there, that's Dixie. It's our accessibility ambassador to make it also a bit more easy for everybody. Andre already mentioned so much about the hotels, and it's quite nearly the same that we follow the same regulations. Luckily, we have also a technic partner close to us, which also offers us to bring up hybrid meetings towards our hotel. And as you already know, you know this nice little mast, and this is part of our virtual tour. So let's get it started.
All right, so I think we're all excited for the virtual tour now. So let's start.
Hello and welcome to Scandic. My name is Heiko and we are one part of the Frankfurt Hotel Alliance and showing you the offers. You all know these safety and security measurements right in the moment, which we also have to follow in Hessen. And we like to show you as one of best practices how we like to arrange it here in Frankfurt. So let's get the mask on and let's get in. First thing what you can do is start with disinfection. So you get your fingers already safely. And then the rest, everything is about guidance in these days. And we start with guidance directly already at check-in. As you know, from most of the places, you have to keep distance of 1.5 meters from each other. So we also assist in these days. Coming here to the reception, you still know to fill in your form, but we also ask you to leave your mobile phone number with us so we can get in touch with you in point of any kind of contact, what we need to do. Also, together with the German Hotel Association, we found in the first guidances for yourself, even to get better knowledge how we do everything within the COVID-19 period and time. Also here, if you'd like to, you can still disinfect if you feel unsafety. In the moment, we can't offer buffet breakfast, unfortunately, even though if you like to. Therefore, we found our solution within separate breakfast times and breakfast menus, so you have the full range what you used as still in the past. Welcome. Here in the restaurant, we have also to follow a couple of rules. But the first thing is, and that's the lucky part, you can turn off your mask while seating. Even here we need to keep the distances. And we said, don't take things away or get the feelings different. So we said, instead of not allowing something, you have here Lea, one of our team members, sitting directly beside you. And how easy could it be, even in the morning when you're alone for breakfast, having one of our team colleagues directly as your neighbor. Also, it's easy to follow the current rules. You just pick up your cell phone, switch on the camera, and then you can pick the QR code. Taking the QR code, it shows you that you can follow directly to our website. And in here you have to fill in the form, which we need to follow in the moment, and as well get our breakfast menu directly here on the cell phone. And even for me, who needs to wear glasses, it's more easy because you can fit it up to that size that you can easily read what you like to get for breakfast. Enjoy it. As we are back in public area, we need to wear again a mask, and we recommend it. So let's follow up to our meeting rooms. Before the meeting, we need still to follow the safety and security guidelines. And first of all, for sure, if somebody of your delegates has forgotten its mask, then we can offer it directly towards. As well, if you ask us to measure the temperature of each of your delegates, we can easily do it. Let's see. 63.5. So I can follow up the next meeting. And for sure, we keep the distances of 1.5 meters to each other. And as well, we mention how many people can fit into our rooms. Let's follow and start one of our meetings. So let's start with a good meeting. But what do we need for that? For sure, we have our big screen where you can follow each information. But we also use, in these days, the smaller screens as well. Because of the distances, we need to keep our delegates also in the rows behind, and we like to share all the kind of information. Directly on the table, you find the hand disinfection towels, what we also give in for your security. So, let's start, and nice to have you here. And now it's time for a coffee break. This is a version of a roll-in coffee break. Even here, everybody can feel absolutely secure, because everything is single wrapped, and the only touch point for each delegate of a meeting is his own box, which he can grab easily, his own drink, or her own drink for sure. You can go towards the space inside the room, or for sure you can use the foyer outside. And being back on your place, you can leave off your mask, open up your own box, and lucky taste these strawberries. Enjoy it. Maybe through our check-in, you have passed all these information what you have given. And in here, you find everything written down, and it's directly in the frame in front of our door. Back from our tour here in the house, we are in the lobby area. Seating means you can take off your mask, and now you can listen to me more easily. We are here in one of our beautiful hotels in Frankfurt at the Scandic Hotel. Me, I'm Heiko, and now it's time for your questions.
All right. So thank you, Heiko, for showing us your great hotel. And we have already one question here for you. When it comes to sustainability, how can you guarantee sustainability when a large number of foods must be packed separately and individually right now?
Yeah, absolute. Luckily, we have two options in that case. The one case is that we serve single parts already on plates, so there's no need for any kind of for rubbish. And on the other hand, luckily, we work together with Greenbox, and all these boxes, what we use, are recyclable. As well, directly on the beginning by check-in in our rooms, there's another option that every attendee can decide if we do clean the room or do not clean the room out of privacy reasons. And in the end, that means also that is one part of the sustainability in the moment.
Okay, so thank you very much, Heiko. Let me check if there's another question coming in. All right, now that's it for the moment. If you have questions, you can also ask them at the end. So let's move on with our location here. So Kerasa, would you mind telling us something about the design offices in Frankfurt?
Hello, everybody. Design Offices is a provider of corporate co-working solutions and offers mainly office space, as well as meeting rooms for flexible meetings and events. We are present in Germany with in the 15 major German cities with a total of 40 venues, have a total of 550 conference rooms, any size, and 15,000 workspaces. As the lockdown measures yet continue to ease and our business seems to reopen, we identify and manage the risk to ensure that our premises are sufficiently safe for our staff and clients as well. My colleague, Mrs. Mirjana Huber, will present to you in their upcoming video all adjustments we made to maintain a healthy environment in our venues. The video,
All right.
please. Yeah.
So we will, or would you say something about this slide, or shall we move on with the visit?
Yeah, actually, you can see in the slide our meeting room patterns, outdoors and indoors, smaller meeting rooms, our meet and move rooms for agile meeting and working with right on walls, with up and down tables, our new work setup with funny funny furniture and yeah. And yes, we can now see what we made to make the meeting experience in our premises safe.
Great. Okay. So I will send this whole presentation afterwards. So if you would like to see it in more detailed, we will start with the virtual tour right now.
Hello and a warm welcome to the Design Offices Frankfurt Wiesenhüttenplatz. My name is Mirjana Huber and I'm the Regional Quality Manager of Design Offices. As I am part of our pandemic task force, the Corona team, I will gladly show you around the premises and tell you what we did, how and why, in order to protect our clients and customers and our employees. So what did we do when Corona started, or when we were aware that Corona started? We created an interdisciplinary task force containing people from the HR department, from the communication, from quality management and from operations, in order to show our colleagues what to do and how to handle the situation. We immediately started in providing hand disinfectant at all premises, and we provided branded masks to all of our colleagues. We even have a summer and a winter issue. This is a summer one, the lighter blue. And we have a hygiene manager on every location in order to show the people, the person they can address to in case of any questions. So now I would like to show you around the premises. So if you just like to follow me, when we are walking on the hallways, we always wear our masks. Just to make it easier for you to understand me, I will not wear it. Be sure that we have our distance, but the hand disinfectant will take place in any time. So, just like to follow me? So now we are in one of our meet and move rooms, one of our signature rooms at Design Offices. On every door of our meeting and conference spaces, you will find our hygiene rules. We kindly ask all our clients and customers to wear mouth and nose protection whenever being on the public premises, in the rooms and in the areas where you are alone, you can handle it however you want. We kindly ask you to keep your distance of 1.5 meters and follow the common hand hygiene rules. In order to rectify and to see what kind of rules do you really need, we worked together with the BAD, which is a German health company, and we gained a certificate for all of our rules. And as you know, the German rules are very, very strict. So we are very proud that we received the certificate, and you will see it on every of our publications. To help you and help your clients and customers to follow the hand hygiene rules, we provide in every of our meeting rooms hand hygiene disinfectant and surface disinfectant. So in case, for example, that you would like to wipe off the remote control before handing it to one of your co-workers. Now we are here at our training rooms, which are at the moment seated in our arena setting. Normally we can place here up to 199 guests, but at the moment, as you see, we only can host up to 55 guests, as we follow strictly the rules of the 1.50 meters, and we calculate 3 square meters per person, which means that we have blocks in the middle of the chairs, so that everyone has his own space and can keep his distance. Normally our rooms are smaller for sure, and we have all those flexible walls where we can join and play a little bit with the rooms, but at the moment we will provide at the same price the larger room in order to protect you and your clients. So last but definitely not least, we're at the top of the building right now. Here in the entrance of our rooftop lounge, you see as well our hygiene rules, the hand disinfectant, and now I'm really happy to show you our rooftop lounge with the adjacent terrace. So if you'd just like to follow me. So due to the generous spaces we have and we already ever had, even our network events and our event spaces are so situated that we have the space to make everything COVID ready for you. In the back you see our rooftop terrace here in Frankfurt with a nice skyline view, and here we have our rooftop lounge. Thank you so much for your attention for our little tour through our location here, focusing on our health and security and safety measures all about COVID-19. And I hope to see you soon in one of our locations. And my colleague Karasa Spiridou will now gladly answer all of your questions. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.
All right, so thank you and your colleague Mirjana for this great tour through the design offices. We already got one question for you from the audience, which is, so what was the biggest challenge for you implementing all these hygiene and safety measures at the design offices?
Actually, we didn't do anything different than all the gastronomy premises in the city. The biggest challenge was actually to educate the staff to adapt in these new regulations and rule, as well as our external partners, as we are a location and we work with an external catering partner or an external technician, that everyone has to follow this rule in our premises so that we can minimize the risk and make the people, the staff first of all, and the clients that feel safe to keep working here.
All right. Thank you, Karasa. So we're now at the end of our webinar. Maybe you can all turn your camera on right now. So, perfect. There are 2 questions for Andre from the beginning. that I would like to answer, or maybe you could answer it. So what is about like a gala dinner or like after parties? Is this possible, like after parties after the Congress or after the meeting?
Yes, it is. We need about approximately an hour 15 minutes to break down the ballroom and reset it for a dinner reception. And basically, the regulations allow that up to 10 people can sit at a table. And again, the only limitation would be not moving around too much. So we would have to work with, you know, with name tags, and everybody would be seated. But yeah, we would be able, and we also have requests for formal dining events in the evening. And yeah, we're absolutely able to do that.
Okay, thank you. Also, there's another question for you, because the Marriott is a very tall hotel. What's about the elevators and the access to the elevators? Are there some regulations?
Yes, there are. As as Inga mentioned, the square meter that you would have. Yes, there's a limitation to the elevators. You have to wear a mask when accessing the elevator, and there should be, a certain amount of people only on the elevator. We usually say, okay, 4 people would be the safest, so everybody can, basically occupy a corner, and you can still maintain the distance and wear a mask. Luckily, we just finished renovating the elevators in January and February, and also worked on them. And we have 4 brand new elevators. They're actually moving 6 meters per second, which is the fastest
Oh, wow.
allowed in Germany. Yeah. You have to swallow 3 times until you're up on the 44th floor to to make the pressure regulation on your ears and everything. Now they're actually very fast, and we should not have any issues with that. We also have an additional 3 elevators in the back of the house that we can use. They're also going to the guest floors, which we can use as a backup. So we had these situations before, during fair times when everybody's coming home from the fair at 5 o'clock sharp and wants to be out for dinner at 6. We move 593 people up and down in an hour, so shouldn't be a problem.
All right. Okay. So there's only like one last question. If this session will be recorded. Yes, we are recording the session, and if we're uploading it, we will let you know. We will give you a short information. So if there are no more questions, this is the end of our virtual tours here today. So first of all, I would like to thank you to Andre, Kerasa, and Heiko for attending our webinar here today and for being our guests. And thank you to all the attendees for joining. We had like attendees from all over the world here today, which is great. And yeah, I hope this webinar was helpful for you. If you have questions, you can contact us anytime or follow us on social media so you always get the updated news. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Take care, and let's meet again in Frankfurt soon. Bye-bye.
Thank
Right.
you.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.